Hello, welcome. We're doing Viva Italia. It's real fun. And I'm sick as a dog, so don't judge how I look or how I sound, or how delirious I am. First I thought we were gonna do meatballs, and I like to, this is my own crazy recipe, so let's look down what I have going on. Let's do this kind of fast, because, I don't know, it's a little so on the stovetop I've got my big saute pan with a quarter thing of butter, and then in a big pot I've got 2 bouillon cubes, an entire brown, or carton of beef broth, and then I did half beef broth, half water. That's what's in there. In here I've got a pound of ground beef that has been thawed, obviously, and it's in there, and I opened it. I also have some crushed red pepper in there. Now I've got this mix. It's 3/4 of a white onion, diced up, and then 2 spoonfuls of prepared garlic that comes out of a big plastic thing. I borrowed it. Isn't that great? So I'm just going to throw that in there. Garlic and onion. On my cutting board, you're seeing here about 2 big heaping tablespoons of flour. I just spread them out. I've got my dry Worcestershire here that's going to go into the meatballs. I'll measure it for you. Pretty decent amount. That's a big heaping palmful of the Worcestershire. Dry Worcestershire. And then I'm going to put some black pepper in there. I like these to have a little bit of a kick. About 1/4 of a palmful. I mean, if you have big palms, then these measurements are going to be all off. I got little elf palms. So, yeah, that's what's in there. I've got the dry Worcestershire. Let me do some Cajun seasoning is what I'm going to do. And you can do, like, any of the crazy stuff I always use. I don't have this pan on yet, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. No, not yet. I'm going to give it a hot minute. Cajun seasoning. Now, that's a pretty decent-sized palmful, wouldn't you agree? Throw that in there. Breadcrumbs. I'm going to put half of this container of breadcrumbs in there. Actually, it's about 1/3 of the container. I'm going to throw some Parmesan cheese in there. This is just, the stuff prepared that you can buy. A pretty decent amount. I don't know, about a 1/4 of a cup maybe. Sound good to you? Sounds good to me. And then 1 egg. And then we're going to mix that all. And it's going to be a real nice, lovely meatball. Ooh, no shell. Go me, go me. I've got so much going on. I'm going to do this in segments, though, and I think I might be getting smart. Might be. Don't get too excited. And I also think I'm going to have to put another egg in there. I like doing this. It's weird, but it's relaxing. Yeah, I'm going to get 1 more egg. Because usually when I do my meatloaf, I do a big can of cream of mushroom soup, so I've got a lot more of the liquid binder. Don't worry. This is going to go pretty fast. 1 more egg. Oh, Shelly. Do you like the name Shelly? I do. It's neat. But it always reminds me of this this thing we had to do in acting school. Like one of those vocal warm-ups to get our enunciation correctly. Sally sells seashells down by the seashore, even though there's no Shelly in that. It reminds me of that. You know why? Because I'm freaking weird. Can you see this? Look, it's coming together real nice. I'm sure there's, like, you could use a mixer or something, but there's just something so old school and comforting about doing it yourself, getting your hands real grody. Alright, a little bit more of the breadcrumb. Ooh, hey, there's a recipe on here for it. So yeah, I did end up using half of that like I said I would. This meat is so weird, I've noticed about the ground beef, is no matter how much you, there's gonna be like 4,000 meatballs. No matter how much you move it around or whatever, it just keeps expanding and expanding, and then you never have it all done properly. Okay, cool. How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna burn my face off, watch this. Oh wow, the blow technique worked. Cool. So I've got that on. Look at the butter, it moved. I'm just gonna form these into balls. I don't know how big. I said balls. I tried so hard not to laugh. Come on, it's funny. Alright, what I'm gonna do is make these into balls. And see how pretty? Do you see that? That's just gorgeous. Dude. There we go. Wow. I'm gonna roll it in the flour, and then I gotta get this coated with butter. I'm gonna throw it in this saute pan, and I'm gonna kind of roll them around the flour and the butter, and then I'm gonna once this bad boy over here starts boiling, which is gonna be pretty soon. This is really fun. I wish I had friends. Okay, just kidding. I do. Cool. Look how nice it looks. Don't mistake it for one of those lemon cookies. I would do that. It's something I would do. Arr. We just kind of, it's not that we necessarily want to like crisp the outside up crazy. We want a little bit of brown on there. And we want to seal in all the yumminess that we put into these. When I do this, I'm just kind of getting the excess flour off. Cool. I don't know why whenever I do like meatballs or tuna balls, they get bigger. Each one I do is a little bit bigger than the last until finally it's the size of a softball. I think I just get really bored. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to make a big one. Whatever. Okay, this is going to be time consuming, clearly. I've got 100 of these to make. So what I'm going to do is toss around some of the 3 that are already in there. Well, 2 now. And just kind of show you what they're looking like. Let me wash my hands real quick so I can do that. Yeah, so I'm going to continue doing all of them like that, and then I'm going to throw them in that boiling pot. When you come back, we'll look at the progress, huh? Smells like fried chicken. Careful, that butter is going to burn. See if it's already doing it. Oh, wow. Cool. These are going to get a toss. Do you see the one I just kind of turned over? Oh, too bad I don't have a really good close-up. But, yeah, that's what's going on in there. So, I'm going to continue with that, and I'm going to put them in the, just kind of roll them around. It doesn't really matter. Don't get too, like, crazy about it. Anyway, I'm just going to roll them around. I'm going to put them in the hot pot. I'll boil. I'm going to boil them for, I don't know, 15 minutes. It doesn't, they're in water. It's meat being poached. And it's, you know, bound up with egg and stuff. It's not going to get too dry. We're going to do that. Don't throw the butter or the flour drippings or the meat drippings or the fat, any of that away, because that's going to turn into a gravy. Okay? So meet me back here in a few. All right. Love you, Mina. Okay, back. They are boiling away nicely. Look. And I've got this pan, which, by the way, I had to throw a little bit of olive oil in there because the butter was burning too bad. So you got burnt butter in this pan, drippings, and some flour. I'm going to undo, I'm going to put 2 beef bouillon cubes in there, and I'm going to turn the heat on really low, if I can get it on. And we're basically just going to kind of make a gravy, a real thick start to a gravy. Because what I'm going to do is also use some of that juice that they're cooking in. Do that, and then I'm going to use this red wine. Well, this light red. I keep using it because we have it. I would definitely recommend using a drier one, not one that's like sweet and not real wine. But this is what we've got. I used the rest of it. No more of that. It smells really good as soon as it hits. Kind of roll the liquid over the bouillon cubes so they get wet so that they'll melt. I'm going to turn that on over a lower heat. Hey, did you see me turn that on? I didn't see me turn it on, and it turned right on. And then I'm just going to do some black pepper in here. I did 4 or 5 healthy shakes. Come look at, so you want to get the drippings and stuff from the butter, but you can see how there's a lot of separation in it. It's like a cool little tidal wave pool. Alright, let's get on to the next dish, shall we? I'm going to take out my other saute pan, and I'm going to put it on the, I don't really have room, huh? This is just not working out to my advantage. I'm going to use a littler one. Sorry, kids. I told you I'm sick. You gotta... okay. This smells really good. The wine smells good. Now, I've got a whole bowl here of half and half. I'm trying to show you how it's real easy to do stuff with things you have around the house. And I have all these creamers around the house. Please don't ask me why it's such a long, silly story, but I do. So those little individual half and halves, I opened and filled that whole bowl. I swear there were like 52 of them. You probably don't have 52 creamers around your house. Look, I'm putting a pat of butter in there. I'm going to turn that on. And I'm going to throw, look what I've got. This is another 3/4 onion. And it's thinly sliced. See? I'm going to put this, there's a dog here, gross, don't tell anybody. I'm going to put this in with the butter. I'm going to put some black pepper. Remember I told you about the onions and the black pepper? Why don't you come down and take a look. Decent amount of black pepper, and then I'm going to use this garlic again. We're basically doing an Alfredo sauce here. This is going to be for our, guess what we're making? Look at this big spoonful of garlic. It's huge. It's a heaping tablespoon of garlic. This stuff, I don't know why. If you know, please write and tell me why it loses a lot of its flavor after it's already minced and then it's put in liquid of whatever sort. But it does. This is my big whisk. I keep telling you, now you finally get to meet it. We're going to make a really lovely Alfredo sauce that we're going to do over this spinach and chicken, thank you, lasagna. Look, flour, sprinkle a little bit because I'm using half and half, not heavy whipping cream. We're going to let the flour, the butter, the onions cook down. And it's going to be really nice. And you know what, I'm going to throw, just for fun, another tablespoon of butter on there. Listen, this is not a dish if you want to stay real healthy. But it is a dish if you want to like have it as your last meal or you like real tasty food. Real quick, see, this is, the bouillon hasn't melted yet, but it's thickening up pretty nicely. Alright. I've got this cooking sheet. Hello, cooking sheet. I'm going to turn the broiler on. Remember I told you only the broiler works? I've got this chicken that's all cubed up. I use those chicken tenders that I swear by all the time. And I already thawed them and cut them up. There's about 10 of them. And I cut them into, there it is. I cut them into little chunkies. Kind of big, decent sized chunks. I'm just going to drain that juicy out. Cool. That's all I did was drain it. Don't get all excited like, where'd it go? All this stuff is cooking up so nicely. I'm really excited about this meal, but it is far too intensive for being sick. Now look what I've got here in this bowl. I've got a cup of Parmesan, the like grated Parmesan that comes in the can. Then I've got 2 huge tablespoons of dried tarragon, the same 2 huge tablespoons of dried mint, and then I've got some crushed red pepper and a little bit of black pepper. Not too much. This is going to serve as the coating for my chicken, and it's going to be delicious. That smells yummy. This smells real beefy. Okay, now I'm going to drizzle my chicken. Watch closely. I've got a lot of flavors going on. I'm going to drizzle the chicken with olive oil, and I'm just going to get a spoon. Why do I always run out of spoons? Just kind of make sure the chicken gets coated in the olive oil. And then toss it. Actually, no, I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to toss the seasoning all into here. Oh, this is a coating, like I said. This is burning up over here. So real quick, I'm going to throw this in. This is our half and half. And I'm going to put some Parmesan cheese in there, whisk it, and then lower it. I don't want a heck of a lot of flavor, and I'm using about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan in this. It's going to be a real nice thick Alfredo.